As always, thank you for tapping in. I just appreciate everyone who does take from this, because I make these videos just for people to take bits and pieces of what I say and apply it to their life in any area that will benefit them. That is honestly the only reason I am speaking anything that I know or I've come to understand, because I want it to genuinely help. But anyway, to the point of things. All right. Life speedometer. Life. Everyone has a different speedometer. You know, some people's goes to 80, some people's goes to 120, some people's goes to 200, some people's goes to 300, you know, metaphorically speaking. You can upgrade yourself as you work on yourself in life, and the more that you do hard things, the more that they become normal. So it becomes easier to do hard things, aka your speedometer goes up. When you change yourself and you get used to doing things that are harder, you're going to be able to work through things faster. You're going to be able to do things faster. Your speedometer for the day is going to be different than someone else's speedometer for the day. And it's not to compare, but it's to compare who you used to be. Because we all got to grow. And, you know, you could also be going too fast, trying to get too much done at once. That it's a problem. It doesn't help you. So, you know, life speedometer, you got to know when to dial it up and when to dial it down. You know, like when you get in the cars and you're messing with the fuel, airflow, you know, you're doing different things, dialing it up, dialing it down. You got to do that so that you can work efficiently, so that you can get the most efficiency out of what you do every day, whatever that may be. So life speedometer, you know, not everyone has the same speedometer, so keeping everyone to the same standards is not ideal. Keeping you to your standards is where it plays the biggest part. As you improve yourself, your speedometer improves, you are able to do more. Besides your actual speedometer of you in your everyday life and how you come at that, there is the speedometer of life itself. You know, the earth slows down. The earth slows down during, you know, fall to, you know, winter. And then the earth, you know, not literally sped up or slowed down, but like nature and stuff like that, not the earth's rotation, but like nature and all that stuff is like slowed down. Growth, plant growth, all that stuff slowed down, you know. You just got to understand when to dial things back. And it might be because you just need that break for a second so that you can go back to doing 200, 300 on the dash all the time, you know. But if you're doing 200 on 200, 300, if you're doing your max all the time, you know, eventually you're gonna have to rest. It's not gonna be something you can sustain 24/7. Imagine like an extremely busy day, and that's just every day. An extremely busy day where you're busy from the start to the end. If you don't learn to slow down, you're eventually just gonna crash, be burnt out on possibly even life, because you're just doing so much. It's not about one thing, it's about doing, you know. So just understanding yourself is really where this comes down. If you feel like you can get a lot more done and you're not doing enough every day, then go do more. Go keep pressing yourself, and you'll realize that maybe you were doing less than average. So once you get to the point where you're doing so much and you dial it back a little bit, now you're doing more than what you was doing before when you was doing less than average. Now you're doing like right here, you know. And even though you're just pushing it here, you know, it's just like taking that break, and then you get to that point, you know. It's just understanding. I hope y'all get what I'm saying. It's just understanding yourself. Understanding yourself and the speeds and when to rest. Life speedometer, not only within yourself, but in your surroundings. You know, just learning when to tweak things, but you're not gonna hear it from outside. You know, if you just, you know, you try to slow down when the winter comes, you know, I mean, obviously things do slow down, but kind of not at the same time. But you know, just understanding yourself. It's just what this comes down to. Just understanding yourself, when to push harder to maintain a higher status quo, when to rest. You know, that's pretty much it. Life Speedometer. I'm out.